Okay, let's just jump into this. Imagine a political system that's literally called the rule of the best.
Sounds pretty good on the surface.
Right. But what if I told you that, in its purest form, this system demanded its rulers, the absolute best people for the job, have no private money, no personal home, and no family whatsoever?
And that's the perfect place to start. You've brought us an essay on this recurring idea of aristocracy, or the rule of the best. Our mission here is to pull out the most game-changing insights, some real wisdom that could shift how you think about leadership.
Because the core problem is immediately obvious. How do you actually find the best? And once you do, how do you justify their power to everybody else?
Well, if we go back to the classical Greeks, the word itself, aristocracy, it just meant rule based on merit, on virtue.
It was totally different from, say, a monarchy, which is ruled by one person, or a democracy ruled by the many.
But what's so fascinating is how fast that ideal, that pure definition, started to break down.
Exactly. The essay points out that while the idea was virtue, in reality, things like your family name, your inherited status, and especially your wealth,
Yeah.
they became the stand-ins for being the best.
It's just so much easier to count a person's money than it is to, measure their wisdom.
Which takes us straight to Plato's really radical solution in the Republic rule by these philosopher guardians.
He saw the problem. He understood that power corrupts, so he tried to design a system to just eliminate the temptation.
The selection process is just wild. This wasn't about elections or bloodlines. They were picked out and then trained for years and years.
Yeah.
It was this intense process of intellectual and physical training, all of it aimed at one thing: understanding the concept of justice.
And that intense training is what led to your hook at the start. Plato made them live communally. No private wealth, no families.
The idea being, if you own nothing, you can't be bought.
Exactly. Your only ambition can be for the good of the state, not for yourself or your kids. Their entire authority came from knowing what justice is, not from being popular or rich.
It kind of sounds like a dictatorship of the smartest people in the room, which, raises a huge question. How do you even know if a ruler really understands the good? As you're listening to us work through these ideas, we wanted to mention that you are experiencing a unique two-host AI conversation. It's powered by Google's Notebook LM, which helps us get a deeper, more dynamic analysis of essays like this.
And to connect that really radical ideal back to, the real world, we have to turn to Aristotle. He was the pragmatist.
If he gave us a clear way to judge these systems.
Right. He said true aristocracy is the correct form, where the best people rule for the good of everyone.
But the second those few people stop ruling for the whole community and start ruling just for themselves,
Usually as rich for the rich.
that's when it degenerates. It instantly becomes an oligarchy, the dark mirror of aristocracy.
It's such a useful distinction, isn't it? It lets us ask if our own expert elites today are genuinely serving the public good or just serving themselves.
And that warning, that fear of oligarchy, it leads right into our modern worries, even in democracies.
Yeah, what you might call the aristocratic worry.
The idea that maybe a majority of people without all the facts might make short-sighted decisions and need some expert guidance.
We accept that for doctors or engineers, right?
Right.
But political authority is different. You
Yeah.
can't just give experts unconditional power.
So you need a test. You have to have some form of accountability.
And the essay offers this great ethical test. It says any claim to rule based on special knowledge is defensible only if the standards for being the best are public.
Everyone has to be able to see and understand them.
Exactly. Publicly justifiable and applied impartially to everyone, no matter who they are. If you want to explore those ideas more, you should check out Mindful Moments. It's our YouTube channel with AI, essay analysis, and critiques that really inspire you to think.
So after all this, what's the takeaway for you? The point isn't that we should set up philosopher kings. It's that any time power gets concentrated, whether it's tech expertise, corporate money, or an old family name, it has to be tested.
And it has to be tested against one single vital question. Does this power promote justice, general welfare, and liberty for all the citizens?
Or does it just lock in unearned power for a select few?
And that's the line between a system based on true merit and one that's just well-dressed privilege.
Click the link on screen for the in-depth essay summary. Remember to subscribe, share, purchase via the link, and think rationally.
And see the many genre-based podcasts at Mindful Moments. Nourish your mind on the go.